I'm Ross Palmer. It's been a pretty insane week in the world of tech. Some good things and some bad things. Let's dive right into it.
What the?
You know, I can think of no better way to start the day than by having a nice sip of coffee and then settling in to study some good, old-fashioned fossilized barf. Ah yes, the stuff dreams are made of. What's so special about this ancient ejecta, you might ask? Well, at first, scientists thought nothing. Just some fish remains, no big deal. But now they know it's the remnants of a 110-million-year-old pterosaur. First of all, let's take this opportunity to show you what a real pterosaur actually looked like, proving that 100 million years ago, this thing didn't just use AI slop, it was AI slop. I mean, look at that thing. What the hell is that? That's not real. But the big deal here is that for the first time ever, an extinct species was found in fossilized vomitus. I can only hope that future generations discover my body encased in some other animal's puke and wonder, why did that barely evolved primate waste so much of his time on AI memes? Truly, this is the most glorious of all ages. Here's a thought that will warm the heart of every freedom lover around the world. Instead of harsh, confined prisons, or those luxurious Scandinavian prisons which make Club Med look like homeless shelters, General Elon envisions a world in which criminals are set free and then perpetually followed around by one of his robots to make sure they don't get into any more trouble, an article on Futurism alleges. In his own words, which is if you say, like, you now get a free Optimist and it's just going to follow you around and stop you from doing crime. But other than that, you get to do anything. It's just going to stop you from committing crime. That's really it. You don't have to put people in prisons and stuff, I think. So eloquently put, Elon. Now, I'm all for prison reform and changing the for-profit nature of U.S. corrections facilities, but this is genuinely crazy, right? So soon we'll be able to tell who all the criminals are by who's being shadowed by a robot around us, if that premise is to be believed. And if somebody has 4 or 5 Tesla robots around them, it's probably just Justin Bieber saving on security detail costs. I mean, it's a brilliant and most importantly, a very expensive proposition, which will save us from our need to examine our draconian criminal justice system. And I can in no way imagine it going wrong on any level.
We have to get out of here now! Keep moving!
As for me, I'll finally be at ease taking the nighttime crosstown city bus as long as I don't think, say, or do anything at all. Well, an AI-generated song topped the Billboard Digital Songs chart for the first time, and of course there are so many jokes to make, such as, of course it was a country song, and that basically every bro country song for the last decade has essentially been a Mad Libs of pickup trucks, sugar shakers, dirt roads, solo cups, back them boots up girl. Yes, I'm older, Budweiser. But we're not going to make those kinds of jokes here because we love country music, and it's been a secret dream of mine to be a country lyricist in Nashville for as long as I can remember. The more important thing here is this. AI is making music that people actually like, and it's something that we thought only humans could ever do. It's hard to believe this will be the last that we'll be hearing of such things. So let's just change our language to say that every time we like something, instead of this song slaps, this song slops. Boom. Problem solved. In some good news this week, it is no secret that the internet is increasingly frustrated with the side effects of AI. Just ask all of the people who live near or die near massive data centers right now. Yes, all these silly little bits of AI slop that consume our attention and our feeds also consume massive amounts of water and energy, with some notable data centers in the US using temporary high-polluting gas turbines, which people claim is wreaking havoc on local communities. But proponents of AI will say that these are merely stepping stones to a greener future, just as internal combustion engines in general were a path towards electric cars. Case in point, a Sam Altman-backed startup called Exawatt has raised tens of millions in funding for a rather elegant solution: portable, modular solar arrays that heat up rocks. Yes, these special bricks can store heat energy and at scale might be able to provide enough energy for future data centers. Now, do you believe that there is such a thing as sustainable AI? Is it really possible? Well, all I know is that this solution is a lot better than my plan for harnessing the sun for what matters most to me. Let's take a turn to something genuinely awesome in tech news this week. But first, a little background. Chernobyl was one of the worst nuclear disasters in human history, and according to an article on Unilad, quote, remains one of the most contaminated places on Earth and will not be habitable for about 20,000 years due to the long-lasting effects of radiation. It's a stern warning to humans about the profound effects and consequences of our technology gone awry. But the silver lining? There's a new type of fungus that has mutated to feed off of this radiation that would be toxic to pretty much every other life form on Earth. This will hardly be a surprise to anybody who's watched the documentary Fantastic Fungi or seen Paul Stamets' work, and it's a reminder of the incredible power of fungi as an agent for rebirth on this planet. What's even wilder, quote, scientists hope they may be able to harness this process to create radiation shields that can protect astronauts during deep space missions. What? I've said it before, and I will say it again, is there nothing mushrooms can't do? The M-Saga continues. Recently, I ranted about LLMs stealing our M-dashes, something us sophisticated English major types have been banking on our whole careers. Now, you might think LLMs invented the M-dash of late at this point, but I want to point out that it's been around for basically ever, from Shakespeare to Dickens to the 1953 movie The Wild One starring biker no-goodnik Marlon Brando in his young breakout role, to even highly cerebral circles like this excerpt from a scathing piece of literary critique from none other than Jacques Lacan. Yes, sirree, the M-dash is, was, and always will be a powerful weapon in the writer's toolkit, and now Sam Altman has confirmed that ChatGPT will, for the first time ever, respect your wish to disable it completely. Now look, I've given OpenAI a lot of flack about some of their decisions, but we as a species need to ask ourselves, is a world without an M-dash a world worth living in? Sure, AI is great, but at what cost, people? At what cost? As the world turns to batteries and pretty much everything from greeting cards to electric pogo sticks, we'll all benefit from a world with hundreds of charging cables surrounding us like a net we can't escape 24/7. But of course, if you're like me, something you find particularly wasteful are all those complicated electric products that are designed to be used exactly once, like those chonky disposable vapes. E-waste from vapes is a looming crisis similar to all the motorized LED crap people give out at any modern trade show. But the good news is, a YouTuber turned these discarded items into a way to power his whole house by stacking 500 of them together. How awesome is that? Now, if we imagine that our future will be something like the movie Waterworld, where we're forced to make better use of our finite resources, which includes, of course, I can only assume, drinking our own urine, obviously, this is a glorious first step. We've pushed the concept of what can be thrown away as a society way too far, and the idea of using this much plastic, electronics, and batteries just so somebody can sustain a nicotine habit for a few extra hours feels borderline criminal. Thank God one of us, a YouTuber of course, has the brains and talent to do something about it, because after this video is filmed, I was planning on throwing my single-use Canon cinema camera right into the trash. Well, thanks for watching all the way till the end. I'm Ross Palmer. Like and subscribe for more, and of course, leave your comments to prove that your comments are always smarter than this actual very dumb show.